My name is Harry. I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is December 30th, 2025. It is 7:23 a.m. This is video number 2. Video number 1 is on this channel, but for my members only. I was talking about Anthony Joshua, so that would be for my members only. All right, so let's do the video for everybody. All right, so this one I just saw, that's Omid. Omid was like, because I haven't seen Omid quite some time. Maybe before the Christmas holiday, I saw a tweet. I forgot what the tweet was about, but I did share it with you. And then he went missing. So now he's back. Okay, so this is what he was. So what did I miss? And he's raising his hand. Okay, here's my report. I'm tired of squad or something. Quick Royal Chaos recap. Photoshop scandals became the family tradition of the year. Andrew is still radioactive, just rearrange instead of remove. Workshire royals praised for showing up occasionally. Elderly royals outperforming the young generation. Cancer didn't stop Charles from working more than Wells, William and Kate. Christmas card did more damage than good. I'm sorry, I didn't share too much about that. I don't know what he said about the Christmas thing. Media credibility hit rock bottom again. Public trust still missing. Sussex is thriving abroad, focus on family stability and happily life in the US. That pretty much sums up everything. Consider me caught up. Alright, I started to read the end game. I need to know how many of your prediction came true. Alright, so Omid respond. Would love to hear your thought. Omid, the original. We miss you out here in these streets. The derangers are well and truly deranged. Untreated illness will only ever get worse. That should have been last, is the way that the squad are talking with Omid and he's responding. I'm assuming his time being missed, he probably was working on something. He probably was working on a project. Okay, February 10th is the show coming soon too. News on the show soon. Okay, let's see here. I can't wait. I'm already seated. Okay, so yes, a while back he did say there's something they're working on. All right, girl, spill the tea. It's coming. Okay, so another word, be ready for him. He probably was working on something. Okay, you are the only former royal correspondent who deserves to have a podcast talking about the royal world, PR, comms, etc. Some nonsense poll result, I guess. LOL, no surprise there. Okay, so there's more. The squad are communicating with with Omid. There's a lot. I can't go over everything. If I do, that will be one video by itself. All right, let's go to the next tweet. And this one is the squad talking about the Oprah interview. All right, that's a GIF. The Oprah interview broke them. Damn it. It's been almost 5 years and they're still hurting, talking about it and trying to recover from it. Okay, I wonder what they were saying. That interview exposed the British royal family for the goons they are. There's the shade here. Hey, beautiful smiley. Okay, what else? Hello, my gorgeous sister. There's that. And why imitate her if you hate her so much? Okay, I don't get it. They hate her because they didn't think of it. That's true. The things, the ideas that Meghan is coming up with. Remember, Meghan went to school for things like this and she knows how to use social media to... Okay, so many things. There's so many branches. Not only her fan base was with her, her fan base have grown. And then what the media in the UK is doing to her is propping her up and is getting more fan base. people who will not care about Meghan, whatever she's doing. There's people who will not care about that. But because the way the media is talking about it, waken people or open people's eyes or make people look deeper into why they're talking about her like that. And then those who actually did do the research and what they find out probably discussed them and said, why are they talking like that about her, and push the royal family further away. All right, let me read what's there and then that'll be it. Also, they thought they will have the easy street by appropriating and taking credit for all her hard work and ideas. That's why they were probably at her for the Together cookbook and the Vogue cover. It wasn't credited to them. Okay, I believe they were shocked by her success, which is silly because when one person wins, the whole team wins. This is what I've been saying. I used to think, before getting too deep and looking into the royal family, I used to think anything that the royal family does, any one of them, William, Kate, Harry, Charles, or whoever, any one of them, if they did one good thing, it will be a good thing for the entire family. That's what I used to think. And I used to think it was the royal family versus the elected officials. Not to be penned against one another, but it's like a counterbalance. If something goes wrong in terms of the way the elected officials are doing, there's that hope or the royal family will step up and do certain things. Not dictate what elected officials do because they don't have the power to do that, but a counterbalance. But no, that's not how it's that not only hypocrisy, jealousy. That's the thing, the jealousy. They want to get credit for everything. This is what's really killing them. Okay, I believe they were shocked by her success, which is silly because when one person wins, the whole team wins. Okay, what happened now? Nothing. It's just that they always bring up the interview. They will never recover. I hope not. The truth is always uncomfortable for the guilty culprit to handle. Whatever is here, that's it. They never been the same since. There's the laugh. Basics 101. If you want to be spoken of kindly, be kind. They expected to slap Harry and Meghan without getting slapped back. Yeah, everyone find out. That is very true. Meg brought a large new audience with her. Those followers on IG that I usually talk about. But that family failed to recognize it because they were blind by racism, jealousy, and hatred. The abuse began while the world's eyes were still watching, and as their own skeleton threatened to be exposed, they made the mistake of, okay, did she continue? There's to comment. Of trying to smear her. The Oprah interview was successful because the public had already witnessed the abuse from both the media and the family. When the 72 women and Omid spoke out and the family remained silent, served as confirmation that the family was behind the attack. Please tell me all the racist things the royal family did to Meghan Markle, while Harry and Meghan themselves said that they were very welcoming and stating several times that the royal are not racist. Remember, that was before. And this is the other thing too. Harry was trying to keep the peace. Harry knows the power of the institution. Even as he was leaving, he was praising them, but they never let it go.
The decision that I have made for my wife and I to step back is not one I made lightly. It was so many months of talks after so many years of challenges. And I know I haven't always gotten it right, but as far as this goes, there really was no other option. What I want to make clear is we're not walking away, and we certainly aren't walking away from you. Our hope was to continue serving the Queen, the Commonwealth, and my military associations, but without public funding. Unfortunately, that wasn't possible. I've accepted this, knowing that it doesn't change who I am or how committed I am. But I hope that helps you understand what it had come to, that I would step my family back from all I have ever known, to take a step forward into what I hope can be a more peaceful life. I was born into this life, and it is a great honor to serve my country and the Queen. When I lost my mum 23 years ago, you took me under your wing. You looked out for me for so long, but the media is a powerful force. And my hope is one day our collective support for each other can be more powerful, because this is so much bigger than just us. It has been our privilege to serve you, and we will continue to lead a life of service. So in that respect, nothing changes. I will always have the utmost respect for my grandmother, my commander-in-chief, and I am incredibly grateful to her and the rest of my family for the support they have shown Meghan and I over the last few months.
There's one comment being, can I see it? No. All right. So that's that. Let's move on. Next tweet. Oh my God, I spent too much time on two tweets. Hold on. The Omid and that. This is what I like about the squad. They bring conversation. The Oprah interview thing they brought up out of nowhere. All right, next tweet. This is why they are afraid of HRH Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. God continues to bless her, her mother, her husband, her children, and all her supporters with knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, and blessing also to her and Prince Harry's businesses. As ever, with love, Meghan. Okay, this is 32 seconds. Is there music? Let's see.
Things are just completely out of your control, like construction noises while doing an interview.
Let's take the guesswork out of it. So, holding for sound.
We're good, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Quiet on set.
But sometimes things are just completely out of your control, like construction noises while doing an interview.
Let's take the guesswork out of it. So, holding for sound.
We're good, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, it's playing over. Okay, she's so damn cute. But a lady, how can you not love this woman? Great personality. That's what they wanted to kill. But she has survived, thank God. And that prayer needs to keep on going, because these people will never stop. There's something I said in the last video that I just did about AJ. That spiritual world, that spiritual battle that is going on. Sooner or later, we're gonna start seeing a lot, much more social media personalities gonna come out you will not expect, because I think it's time to pay back. When everything fell, these are the foot soldiers that I used to talk about. Now it's becoming much clearer to me. I used to say at the beginning of my channel, especially on PYTE, when I make prayers, foot soldiers and all of that. Okay, these were the foot soldiers, people who who let go of their ethic, their dignity, to do the thing that is right, okay, in order for them to be popular or to make money and things like that. Yes, we all need money. We all need money, because there's bill to be paid. As long you are breathing, you need money to buy food, goods and services. Yes, you do. But there's some people who have the basic. Remember how I used to say we need food, shelter, and clothing, okay? There's some people who have the basic, but they want extra to show off for what I do not understand. So that extra that they are getting or they have had, in order to get that extra, to be popular, to show off, to do it, comes at a cost. They had to give up something in return. So now, while they had their popularity, the money, the cause, all the flashy thing, now these people gonna say, okay, I give you the money, I give you the car, I give you the popularity. Now you need to prop me up, okay? Prop me up. I need you to prop me up, because this is the exchange. Now, when some of these personalities, the influencers, if some of them did that, I don't know. I'm just talking in general. So when the exchange needs to be returned, some of them may not want to give it, and then they're gonna start dying like flies. Okay, keep that in mind. This is so freaking crazy. I don't know why I'm saying I do not have a crystal ball in front of me, but this, because I don't show these articles that I be seeing. A lot of influencers have been dying, and I'm wondering why. It could be certain accident. This happened to this person who was influencing, and I'm like, why are they reporting about influencers that die? Okay, I don't show these, but they do pop up. Let me pause for a second. Okay, so when I came across some of those articles that I'm making reference to, I did not share them. But when I see them, I read and then move on. This is what I type on Google. How many influencers that die in 2025? Okay, so that's from Google. It's difficult to give an exact total number of influencers who die in 2025, as if an ongoing year with many figures, but report highlight a troubling trend. Okay, a troubling trend, especially with over 10 influencers murdered reported by late September, including Valerie Marquez. Okay, there's some names here. I don't even know who they are, but okay, it might be whatever, domestic violence or whatever, but I'm just saying, just in general, but this is the thing that I'm seeing. Alongside other deaths like fitness influencer Chris O'Donnell, suicide, and food creator Michael Duarte, showing significant losses across various platforms from violence, suicide, and accident by late 2025. Okay? Many of these, when I saw some of those articles highlighting what I'm talking about here, I don't share it, but it stuck in my mind. I'm like, why so many influencers are dying? There's one I remember, I think it was in Florida, the boyfriend or the husband did its thing and all of that, but it stuck in my mind, and I'm seeing a lot of influencers. So that spiritual world, your ethic, your live simple. Don't give up your dignity for stupidity. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Okay, I may not have explained it in the original recording, but what I was saying is that there's a possibility. I have no proof, absolutely no proof. There's a possibility. I think some people, okay, some people give up something or did something to whoever has the power to make them popular, okay? For the money, for the flashy thing, for the cars, for the houses, you name it. Expensive stuff, the private jets, whatnot. Some people probably did something in return to get those flashy cars or flashy material stuff. Now, when it's time to pay back, okay, whoever they made that exchange with, okay, they did something, and then they say, okay, I'll give you the flashy car, I'll give you the houses, I'll give you you'll be popular, I'll do this, I'll do that. So now this is the time for them to pay back, whoever, it could be the influencers. Now the person said, okay, I give you all of this, I want you to, on your channel, to talk about me, to make me more popular. Okay, remember how I share with you, now everything are plugging in together. Okay, every day I see things, I share my thought with you, now they're plugging in together. How I've spoken with you in terms of influencers, okay, they got mainstream medias, they got the televisions, they got the newspapers, they defunding public radios and communication that will inform people with the news. Okay, so they got all of that. Okay, these are things that will change the mind. Now, those other young people who probably gave up something to show off that they are rich, now they go into them. There was a video that I did, I don't know which video I said it in, and I look into how many followers certain people have. Okay, and I said they're going after these influencers, pay them a couple bucks to go on their station to talk about them, to bring like the MAGAs type of people to come and talk on their radios. This is the connection here. All right, so whoever has all those huge numbers of followers, I do not know, I'm just talking just in general. So now when they realize they're not changing all of the minds, they really want to capture, like literally, you remove your brain, throw it in the garbage, and just listen to them. And you be like a freaking robot and just do as they say, you don't question. So these are the leftover people whose brain have not changed. This is why they hate so many black people, because they've been trying to I don't know, control black people, but they try, but that's the resistance. Okay? So all of those influencers who probably, I do not know who they are. There may not be any connection. I don't know. When it's time for them to return the favor, now those influencers probably said, nope, I don't want to do that. I'm not all about that. I did what you told me before. I joined you. I did this. I don't want to do that anymore. And this is the cost, the price that they pay. Okay? This is where I need you. You had all those followers. You don't want to follow through. Then things happen. Accident happen. Okay? This is what I'm trying to say. And there's this guy who's dating one of the members of, is it Salt and Pepper? No, not Salt and Pepper. T-Baz or something like that. And there was an interview that he did. And he said something like they wanted him to do something. And I think he was in this show, Boys Meet World. It's a show I used to watch when I was young. And they wanted him to do something in return. And he rejected that proposal. And they cut him out. You don't see him in many shows. So these are some people who hold their dignity. There's a lot of TV shows. I think I've said it in the original recording. I'll probably not get into it. I'm adding to the recording. There are some people who, some actors we used to see, and you could see their potential. They were, even though you're not a professional actor or something like that, you as the viewer, you could see the actors, their potential. They do the work so well. You could see the potential, and out of nowhere, you don't see them anymore. So when this type of talent popped up, they tried to grab them, put them under their spell, I will say. I'm just saying, just in general, because this is the thing that I see playing out right now. When you don't see those well, not only educated, those good actors who have potential, the talent, and you don't see them anymore, just know these are probably some of those who did not give up their dignity. Instead, whatever money they had made from their previous shows, they took it and run. And then they do a different profession. There's this, I think in the 60s or 70s, what's her name? She died recently. Is it Good Time? And later when I find out that she became a animal doctor, right? A vet. I forgot her name. I think her name is Danielle Spencer or something like that. She recently died. And I found out that she became a vet. So these are the type of people, just look on the screen. I probably will look it up and put her information as I'm saying. Okay, who probably certain things were offered to them. And they was like, okay, I got enough money. I'm satisfied. Now I have the money to pay for my college. Let me go do that and just create money a different way. But there's some people, the fame, they are hungry for fame, but that fame come with a price, and you have to do something in return to be famous. And then once you become famous, they don't just let you go. They need you when they need something else, and you have to perform whatever it may be. I don't know. I'm just saying in general, because this is the thing that I see is playing out, especially recently when I see Trump is going to different platforms, social media platform, and when I look at the number of followers or subscribers, and I was like, maybe that's why. Something has to give. You could look at my channel, for instance. You see lately, well, quite some time, I've been showing you the background of my channel. It's not doing too well. So there's a punishment that come with that. But this is and I'll always tell you guys, this is a investment. So I'm not saying for everybody to do like I'm doing, because okay, let me not go too deep into that, because I cannot dictate to anybody. I'm just happy I have a roof over my head and I could feed my kids, I could do certain things. I'm not looking to be famous. But those people who's looking for to be famous and be popular, have money, and they don't even manage it well, in a few moments everything vanish. But those who do not have the dignity of the self-awareness to do the right thing, okay? Because it seems like this world is running of people of evil, pretty much evil. They want to capture every form of communication to corrupt the mind. But anyway, let's get back to the original recording. Back to this. Okay, so that's that. What was this about? Oh, about Meghan. Let's leave it alone. I forgot what made me talk about it. Next tweet. Let's pause. Okay, it's not a video. The letter was then given to Thomas in the presence of a lawyer who videotaped the handover. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is a very smart woman. By the way, the insider is Caroline Graham, Daily Mail. Two of the reasons why she wants nothing to do with him. All right, let's see here. Very unusual way Meghan Markle's letter was delivered to a strange dad, revealed by insider. Meghan Markle finally made contact with her father after his latest health scare. When was that? December 29, yesterday. Today is December 30th. I'm just gonna say allegedly, okay? So I don't know. This was no doubt important to the Duchess, whose private correspondence with her father had once been made public. As reported by Caroline Graham for the Mail on Sunday, Meghan sent her father a letter in hospital via the local U.S. consulate. The letter was then given to Thomas in the presence of a lawyer who videotaped the handover. This is believed to have been Meghan's first communication with her father for years. However, it is not known whether Thomas has replied to her. Do you really believe she wrote and told him she wants nothing to do with him? There's the thinking face here. Genuine question, for that seems odd. Like, why bother? She could just continue to ignore him. Remember, when they were saying he was in the hospital, he's amputated and all of that, they were making noise and they were saying, how come Meghan is not doing this and this and that, when Thomas Markle has other kids? But the focus was on Meghan. And when I first talked about the hospital thing and when we heard about the letter, and I said, in my humble opinion, I think Meghan did it to ease her conscience. She did what she felt was right. So later in the future, when she cannot rewind time and redo things, so I think some of the things that she did is to ease her conscience. She did everything that she could, despite the fact that the father was selling her out. That's what I think. Let me read what's there and then move. To make him stop with the manipulation, to make it clear to him why she will never visit him. Caroline Graham, Daily Mail, etc. I lost some faith in her, to be honest. When she contacted him, he seems to have gone quiet, which made me think she will speak to him when he stopped talking to the press. So I pray you're right, for he can never be trusted. Remember, this is her father, okay? That conscience, I truly believe is all of this has to do with her conscience. Because she already knew, even way before she met Harry. I remember coming across a video of her being in a car with a friend. They were talking and joking, and she said some stuff about her father that then gave her much faith of her father. Okay, so she had some suspicions about her father, but this is her father. She kept, I guess, her antennas up, but she remained a devoted daughter. Okay, but what she did, what the father did to her leading up to the wedding, I think this is where things really hurt her. And then he continued. This is the thing, he continues. Now, with everything that we've seen happening and the father's cozying up with the paper, even though the paper have tried to destroy Meghan, but he still remained close to the paper. So Meghan has to protect herself. she has kids too. She has to live to protect her kids. Okay? But moving forward, let's say after Thomas Markle died and things happen, when she's looking back at this time, when the father was in the hospital, she probably would have questioned herself and said, oh my God, did I did enough? Or was I that cruel? Or whatever, to ease any doubt. Because this is the way that I will do. Not exactly the same way, but thinking. Okay? Because once the time passed, you can't rewind it to redo it. But while she has the resources to do certain things, she's using it to make sure to ease her conscience in the future and said, I did the best that I can and I spoke to my father. This is the reason why I'm not helping you. Whatever was said in the paper or on the letter, I don't know because it's not making public. Probably the Daily Mail know about it. They don't want to print it so they don't get sued again. So they learned their lesson. They probably know what's in the paper, but they can't make it public. But I would assume Meghan will say, look, I cannot help you because you continue doing business with these people when I could easily help you 100-fold without any exchange. But you continue, you putting these people right next to you, and everything that I said to you will go straight to the paper and all of that, and they're gonna use it against me. How will I trust you? This kind of, maybe make certain things make sense to him. Because there's some people, if you don't explain it to them, they will not get it. If you look, let's say you're taking a class, a math class, okay? They're doing trigonometry, or you're trying to find certain angles, and you don't know, you can't really grasp the thing that is being taught to you, and then someone just made certain thing sound, make it look so easy for you, and then it click, and then all of a sudden you get it. There's some people who are like that. Reality doesn't exist to them because from the time they were born, they didn't get the training where their parents will correct them. So as adult, they don't see anything wrong because they never get punished for it. So I'm just saying, just in general, okay? I don't know what was said on the paper or whatever, but when everything is said and done, I'm assuming Meghan wants to make sure she does whatever she can while she's alive, while the father is alive, so in the future, she doesn't hate herself for it. This is the worst thing that could ever happen to anybody, where you hating yourself for not doing enough. So because she has kids to protect, to feed, to provide food, shelter, clothing, and everything for those kids. So she has to protect herself. And while the father, Thomas Markle, is dragging himself down, so Meghan doesn't want to go down with him. Okay? She probably trying to giving him a little lifeline and say, you don't have to continue this way. If you want any communication with me or whatever, or maybe she's done but keeping at a distance, I don't know. Okay? I'm just saying. All in all, I think, in my humble opinion, she just wants to make sure her conscience is clear. Whatever it is she finds, it may not be any of the things that I've said, but whatever she finds that could clear her conscience, she probably gonna try to do it. And if the father doesn't want to get help, it's not her fault. Okay? But I think it's the conscious part that I think she's trying to prevent in the future so she doesn't feel bad. That's all. All right, let me read what's there and then move on. Okay, I think back to her last letter where she begged him to stop, but it made no difference. If she can shut him up with legal threat, then why not the other two liars? I will have to have more faith in our princess. She has to cover all bases when dealing with that man. He can never be trusted. I think so too. I agree with that. And did necessity became the mother lode of invention? Is that an ad? No. And how Meghan Sussex now deal with her father, Thomas Markle Sr. All right, let's move on. Next tweet. Okay, I'm 23 minutes. Oh my God, I talk too much. I'm probably gonna have different part to this video. Okay, there's a boomerang. The voter made a mistake and pitting Kate against Meghan. Their false Meghan made Kate cry story was an attempt to high-tech lynching of a biracial woman, and they never expect anyone to fight their narrative. Now anything they plan for Meghan will boomerang and do 10 times the damage to that family. Yeah. Okay, I think 3 things shocked the toxic British media. 1, Meghan's fan base, who wouldn't let them lie in peace. Yeah. I remember leading up to the Oprah interview, some of the squad were talking and said, oh my God, we need to get our receipt ready. When these people start lying, we have receipt. I remember that. You could go back to some of those old videos, probably on PYTE. I didn't have this channel at that time. Okay, 2, when she left with Harry, she blew up the plans for their usual princess versus princess narrative. 3, her and Harry's willingness to sue. Since then, they've been twisting in the wind. Right? Karma may be late at times, but her corrective justice is always delivered soon or later. Yes, and Kate made a mistake of not building a genuine friendship with Meghan. Who knows when she may have needed it? Kate lost. Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, this is not to say I agree with what I'm about to say, but in her perspective, because she doesn't have the foundation that Meghan has, is that she look at 2 weak person who don't have power. That's Harry and Meghan, and she knows the institution has the power, and she's gonna marry the not marry. Well, she's already married. She's gonna be the queen, which the derangers always make sure to let us know she's gonna be the queen. All right. So when she look at 2 people, Harry and Meghan, versus the freaking institution who has all those backing, the papers, the military, everything. So you know, this is the blurry thing that the evil make them see, but God had already anointed Harry and Meghan, and they failed to see Meghan's army. Who I'm talking about? Meghan's army, her IG. She had about 3 million followers. She brought all of these people along with her. The institution didn't see that. All right. So, and the other thing as well, Charles and Camilla have used the same tactic. It had worked for them. Okay. So when Kate is looking at it and said, okay, they made it this far and they're still there and the paper's still talking for them and things like that. So she took that, and God was just testing them to change. Okay. God sent Princess Diana for them to make a change. They did not change. So God gave them another chance. They sent Meghan. God sent Meghan to them. They still didn't change. So this is it for them, I think. They tried to do the same thing to Diana, the chase in New York and things like that. God did its thing and said, not this time. But instead, it giving them the protection that the royal family was calling all other countries when Harry and Meghan are in their country to not provide security.
In which I would be I can't see a world in which I would be bringing my wife and children back to the UK at this point. I was born into this position. It wasn't a choice. I've served my country for 35 years. I believe that I am still continuing to serve my country. Public service is my life. That is the dedication that will never change. And then all the other bits and pieces that are added to that. There are very, very real threats that exist out there. Some that are known about, some that are being withheld. And for people in power and responsibility of decisions to know that those threats and risks exist, but to turn around and say, well, because you don't have an official role, your life doesn't actually matter anymore. Well, you can imagine how I feel about that, but you can also imagine, not even imagine, that is the most illogical argument in the history of arguments. At this point, I'm feeling very let down. It's the minority of people, especially those that read the tabloids and the press themselves. The press themselves have incited so much hatred towards myself, my wife, and even our children, that's hard to forgive. I actually couldn't believe it. I thought with all the disagreements and all of the chaos that's happening, the one thing that I could rely on is my family keeping me safe. And not only did they decide to remove my security in the UK, but they also signaled to every single government around the world not to protect us. I would love reconciliation with my family. There's no point in continuing to fight anymore. As I said, life is precious. I don't know how much longer my father has. He won't speak to me because of this security stuff. But it would be nice to reconcile. As I learned through the First Nations throughout Canada, because of the Invictus Games, their goal in life was always truth and reconciliation. And I turned around to them in many conversations. I said, right, but reconciliation can't come without truth. Well, I've now found out the truth. I've shared some of it with you today. A lot of it exists out there, whether people choose to ignore it or not. So it would be nice to have that reconciliation part now. If they don't want that, that's entirely up to them.
So the chase in New York sort of backfired them, where the NYPD said, when they're over there doing business, we're going to provide them with security, because the chase that happened could have hurt a lot of people, New Yorkers, like especially in Manhattan. This is where a lot of rich white people are. All right. Okay. Let me read what's there, and then that's it. Exactly. Don't ever try to destroy someone with a lie when you could be destroyed with the truth. Like the song goes, what the enemy meant for evil, God. All right. And I'm here for it. All right. So this might be the last one for this video, and then I might do another one later. All right. So this one I posted on my community board. Someone responded to it and said something. This is the moment William Macbeth realized he was a mere mortal and his ego has never recovered. What I won't have giving to see his stupid face, William Macbeth. Kindly take your finger out of my face, Meghan. There's that here. Yeah, I think this is the first time someone actually spoke to him like that, because he always get his way, putting his fingers in people's face. You've seen a lot of pictures of him with his wife, fingers pointing at, even the prime minister, his finger pointing at the prime minister at a football game or something like that. I don't have this picture specifically, but I remember coming across it. And his son was there, the oldest. All right, saying that Scooter Bulliam is always characterized as being incandescent with rage, even when out in public. We're spoiled with choice with pics that are available all across the web. All right, so this picture of him. Okay, he's literally a psychopath. There's that, spot on. There's all of this. Consumed by jealousy and envy is William. There's the laugh here. She had him so shaken that after he beat up Harry, he said, "Don't tell Meghan." That is true. Yes, I remember that. That's in the book, Spare. Yes, I truly believe he's afraid of Meghan. I've said that before. And this is why they say he can't do it himself. So he sent his dogs after Meghan. But God already had Meghan. Oh, I love to have seen that. I bet the steam was coming out of his ear. How very dare a woman speaks to Willie like that. There's the laugh here. Go Meghan. People are laughing. Yes, that's when the bullying against her began. Exactly. Which one come first? The pointing finger, or when all four was on stage? Because I always believe when all of them were on stage, when Meghan was saying, what is it? Women have a choice. They need men to support them, things like that. I always felt like this is where it first started. But now thinking about the finger, could be. So I will have to know which one come first. If that quote came first, maybe. But were they already married? You guys could correct me. There's a lot of time I forget the time when certain things happen. Was this before Meghan married Harry, or when all four of them were on stage? Okay, I do not know the timeline. If this one was before all of them were on stage, I will consider that. Yeah, when his radar came up, but I always assume is when all 4 of them were on stage. Okay, so I'm pretty much done. There's that here. Yes, that's when the bullying against her began. Exactly. He has been throwing tantrum ever since. Such a man, baby. There's all of that. All right, so that is it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. There's more, but I'm going to stop now. If I do record later, or maybe tonight, this will be the first tweet. Okay? So they're talking about that. It seems like the squad are bringing more conversation. All right? So that'll be in the next video. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
Find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.